Hello, lacrosse friends, and welcome back to the 2022 Bagattaway Cup at Justin Chu Stadium on the campus of Trent University. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Jeff McKinley. Very excited to be bringing you this second semifinal. Trent Excalibur already through to the championship, much to the delight of a absolutely packed stadium earlier. It was 8 to 10,000 estimated by Jeff McKinley.
I believe it was 8,000.
It was
8,001.
Yes.
Estimate.
Again, maybe a bit hyperbolic, but that's okay. This game, the Brock Badgers, who just hung on yesterday to beat the Bishops Gators 8-7 in quite an exciting, little sloppy game, but it was exciting and lots of drama. They will be facing the Guelph Griffins, who finished first, the first seed direct by to this semifinal, their first action in the weekend. And I was talking to Sam Kozakowski, the Guelph coach, this morning. He is heading over to center to say hi to Vince Longboat and Matt Atwood, the coaches for Brock. And Sam, I asked him, like, when's the last time you went to the semifinal? When did you not have to play Friday? He said, I don't think ever.
Yeah, they're used to going those 1, 2, 3 games in a row and still being able to win. And that's a grind when that's 3 games in 3 days.
They've won 3 championships in the last 8 years, back-to-back in 14 and 15, or is it 13, 14? 14, 15, I think. And then, again, last year with that big overtime. Oh, no, sorry. Brock won it last year. What was I thinking?
And a close game, though.
Very close game.
Yes.
Overtime. Big goal by Aiden Buis. And that was an amazing game. So this is a rematch of last year's championship. And we're going to get things started right off the bat with a battle at the Blue Dot for faceoffs. Jordan Aki, the West Division All-Canadian faceoff man for Guelph in their black with the orange and gold trim. Might be red. I guess it's red. And Brock in their red with the white trim will be facing off, sending James Gowland to the dot.
Face-offs are possession's going to be huge in a game like this with teams that can push the ball.
Brock comes away with it. Ball picked up by Jaden Patterson, and they will go to the first attack, getting the ball in the stick of Andrew Ribka, who had a huge game yesterday. He had their last goal and set up the goal before that, passing it to, I think it was to Mitch Zulian on that one. Or it may have been over to Sam Leclerc, but very solid Brock team, but not the kind of powerhouse we've been used to from them over the years, as they had a lot of guys graduate from that championship team.
Yeah, and, Brock's been here historically so many times that there is that pressure to perform when you're here, and coming in as the defending champ, they'll be trying to bring their A game here today.
And, you're a Brock alum. The Brock history goes deep. 19 championships, is it?
It's
a lot. 2 6 championship runs for this Brock program. So when they hadn't won for over a decade, pressure was mounting. They made some finals. They lost an overtime final to Western a few years ago. They'd been close, hadn't quite got there. That was with players like Latrell Harris and Brandon Slade, who was the only the second Kufla player to hit 300 points, the other being Sean Williams. So a long, solid history for Brock, and it doesn't go down well for the Badgers.
No, there's a lot of coaching changes in there, and
here they come. Brock on the run, going to try and get things started off, and an absolute rip by Ribka, and he makes it 1-0. Takes a lovely pass from Mitchell Armstrong. The listed as a D midi, but you see he can transition.
Oh, absolutely. And these guys will be trying to run it all day. The run and gun style, the West is accustomed to playing, typically more box lacrosse guys. Again, playing to that new shot clock, right? Just grabs it and throws it low real fast.
Yeah, I think the shot clock was at about 72 seconds when he let that one go. And it takes some to beat Cameron McLeod. But I was saying, it doesn't go over well in St. Catharines when they're not winning championships. So last year, it was huge for them. That was a terrific game. And, some excellent performances by Brock Buis, of course, with the game-winning goal. Sam Leclerc is dangerous, and we see Ribka as well, who's playing very well. Jordan Aki, who's going to just leave the ball there for Mitch Ogilvie. Speaking of playing well, Ogilvie, who's got the hometown crowd cheering because he is a Peterborough guy, just won a Mann Cup with the Peterborough Lakers, where he wasn't even a rostered player. He was a call-up, and the only thing that got him out of the lineup in their playoffs was the flu. Missed 2 games in the Mann Cup. He was fantastic.
Yeah, there's a big contingent in the crowd tonight cheering for Mitchie there. His mom, his dad, Doug, cousins, the O'Briens. Mac O'Brien, who used to play for the Trent program, they're cheering him on today. So you expect some loud cheers if he puts anything in that net.
And they will be conflicted if it winds up being a Guelph-Trent final tomorrow.
It'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yes. There would be less confliction, I think, among the fans if Brock wins today. I think you'd have a very heavy Trent pro-Trent crowd here at Trent, of course. There's a nice save by Connor O'Toole. Yeah, after the shot.
Stained black ball here for Guelph.
Bryce Dennis got flattened, knocked to his backside, and they will start. There's Ogilvy, and Ogilvy was, I think, the best player in the Kufla in the Bagattaway Cup last year. He was fantastic. He'll play at both ends of the field. He did that in box, too, where he was a defender for the Junior A Peterborough Lakers. And then when they had a ton of guys graduate, as that ball gets away, but he will be there to scoop it up. And he ran the power play as a defender. He was their captain, killed penalties, played defense, played offense, ran the power. It was unbelievable. And he never gets tired. I don't know if he left the field last year in their 3 games.
Well, and his compete level's through the roof. Totally unknown in high school at St. Peter's. He was an attackman. And he went in or off the championships with the flu and scored 5 goals a game.
Shot from his offside. Nice rip high, but just a little bit over the crossbar. Connor O'Toole was there. Not sure if that one was going to drop anyway for Nicholas Volkov, who scored some big goals last year. And now he is tracking down this ground ball. Scoops it up. They've still got lots of time. Well, 30 seconds on the shot clock. That's plenty of time.
Still about 30. Be looking for the guys off ball. There's one creeping.
Matthew Allen fed it to Bryce Dennis, who gets the shot off, but he was kind of discombobulated from the big hit. I'm not sure if he realized he had quite as much time left as he did. They still get the ball back. Jabe Verbeek, the all-Canadian attack, has drawn a penalty. They wanted to make that moot, but Connor O'Toole with the save. He's saying, why are you blowing play down? I've got the ball. Yeah, it's because there's a penalty.
Looks like a technical there, so it'll be a 30-second. Guelph has some good shooters on this power play. Be looking for some movement here.
Dante Romano going to the box. He had a strong game yesterday, and thanks to Jeff Dowling for letting us know that. I was talking about Luca Romano. I was wondering if they were related. They're twins.
Wow.
Yeah, Luca played for actually the St. Catharines Shockwave in the Arena League last year. He is now a member of the Brampton Express, the Arena League expansion team that Jeff Dowling is the GM and head coach. Excellent. And they took him in the expansion draft. He had a great year last year. And Dante now is serving this penalty, hoping his teammates can bail him out as Guelph goes to the attack, and Bryce Dennis rips one, but again, off the mark.
Just wide. They're getting the ball back here.
Come to the near side to Liam Aston. Tried to move it across, and it's tucked nicely back between his legs by the defender, Andrew Kidd, who was Brock's player of the game yesterday. Lots of contenders, but Kidd was fantastic in that game. You were watching that one at home, right?
Yes. Excellent game back and forth, too. 8-7 coming down to the wire there with Bishops.
Here's a shot and a nice little drift. He absolutely got Cameron McLeod biting low and then just drifts that floater into the top corner. That's Trent Hunter on the run.
Yeah, Hunter looked like he threw a change up there almost. Kind of gave him a head fake looking low and floated it right over top. Gives a double move there and drops it here, and you just see him. Goalie thought he was going to be going low there. Cameron McLeod just a little bit too low there and popped it right back up top.
Off to a good start yesterday. Again, third seed this year. They were about a 500 team for a lot of the season. Won a couple of games to wrap up, finished at 6-4, and then actually had a pretty close playoff game as well. But there's so much more parity in Kufla this year. Toronto was right there. I think it was Toronto that Brock played. I believe it was 8-5 last week.
Yeah.
And Guelph played Laurier and beat them 8-4.
Yeah.
Last week. Laurier is a rising program as well. Carleton in the East that hadn't won a game for 3 years. That to me is amazing. They hadn't won a game in 3 seasons.
Yeah, they played phenomenal this year.
Some
were big
great
statement wins too, right? Beating McGill.
That's McGill 8-7, I believe, that one.
Is it the Trumbull kid there too? That he's Sam, I believe. He's putting
Sam
up
Trumbull.
Lots of points. He's putting them on the map, right? I think they'll have a good recruiting year this year with just the season that they had.
They went 5-5, got to the playoffs, and led Bishops 5-3 in the fourth quarter of that playoff game. Bishops came back and actually beat them 7-6. What an exciting game that was to see.
Well, those are the tools you need to recruit, right? And getting in those tight games to help with your program development and get some more guys on board for the next year.
Just show them the video and say, look how close we are. We need you to put us over the top.
Yeah. Dude, that's the key to Kufla. You can't rebuild. You got to reload.
Brock down to 14 on the shot clock, really taking their time here. Blair Pachareva, who had the hat trick yesterday, including a couple of beautiful BTBs right on top of the crease. Pat Traver will track this one down, and they're going to run out of time. He'll just fling it to the back line, and it'll be picked up there by Zachary Holmes.
That's the first time today we've seen that. Shot clock running out.
I think that's only the second time this weekend, is it not? I'm trying to remember how many we've had. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. I love the shot clock, though. What a difference. I'm an advocate for 60 seconds instead of 80. I don't know. We'll talk about it over the offseason.
We'll see what the AGM brings.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some spirited discussions, as there usually is.
Yes, there are. Here's Jordan Aki setting up for Guelph.
Strong move down the outside there, looking to hit the X player.
Draft pick of the Georgia Swarm, I believe, Aki. Oh, and there's a nice open look. What a pass. And Jabe Verbeek, so dangerous. And you can't give him that kind of space. He was a 17-goal scorer, one of the top players in the league.
And a lot like we saw out of McGill today. Dodge that outside alley and come down. Just no pass to X this time. He takes it all the way through. Slide comes down, and they're able to get him with that wide open shot.
And 3 Guelph players in a line, just at an angle, heading down, drawing all the defenders, and Verbeek just got lost.
Yeah, and I mean, like that, you're supposed to leave the furthest guy. He was it, but he made no mistake there, and Jay Verbeek gets his team on the board here at the Bagattaway Cup.
Yeah, such a good shooter to get them within one.
Big face-off coming here.
One pretty cleanly there by James Gowland, stepping in nicely. Not their regular face-off guy. Oh, that one's tipped away, though. That's going to be a turnover as the pass. I think Connor O'Toole would have had it, but trying to grab it and save his team some trouble was Dante Romano. It tipped off the top of his basket and just went right up over the top of O'Toole and all the way out of bounds.
Tough bounce, literally.
Yeah. Here's Volkov at the top. Quickly moves it on to Matthew Allen, who's going to get it back. Took that pass from Liam Aston.
See Mitch Ogilvie, far side, just looking for some space, seeing who's coming there, reading the defense.
Ogilvie, a non-stop motor, but you will see at times he'll just kind of get quiet, go and just kind of hang around a bit because he plays so many minutes. They need him at both ends of the field.
And he's so smart. He's just like, is this guy turning on me? Eyes not facing, and you'll see him cut right through.
Shot from the outside. Not much trouble for O'Toole on that one. He'll circle around. Sees the forecheck from Liam Aston. Assiduously avoids that and moves forward. And now as they come to pressure him, he hits the man who was just vacated. Speaking of smart players, Connor O'Toole, no surprise. His dad, a Hall of Famer, actually tonight will become a Hall of Famer for the Ontario Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Being inducted along, I believe, with Mike Hazen, his fellow coach with the Rochester Nighthawks, which is where Mitch Ogilvie plays. Had a great year last year, got into 8 games.
Correct. I believe Scotty Evans is going in today, too.
Yeah, Scotty's going in, too. Yeah, it's a big class.
Niagara Falls.
It's a strong group of inductees this year.
Oh, absolutely. Guelph playing some good defense there, making sure that guy can't roll back inside.
Yeah, pushing Brock deep into the 80-second clock again. They're down to 30, which, of course, would be 10 if we had our way and it was 60 seconds. So we'd see things get moving. I'm all for it get going. Here's a drive to the net and the shot.
Big save.
Yeah, Mitch Zulian, I believe, was Brock's leading scorer with 14 goals. Yeah, by quite a bit, actually. Next was 8, Brody Toms and Andrew Ribka.
Guelph staying on side there, doing a good job to make sure.
It is warm here today, and that's something you're not used to having to deal with at the Bagattaway Cup is being prepared. You're usually dealing with the cold weather and making sure that you're able to handle that. So a bit of a different challenge for the guys this fall.
Matt Allen there waits it out, gives it up to Ben Doherty there.
Doherty going to take his time.
Allen's got it again there, so you can see that they're just moving it around, see what the defense is going to do, how they're going to shift here. Getting out to pressure ball. You'll see that adjacent man coming up to support as the ball moves around.
It's interesting for Guelph. Here's Aki coming down. He'll hand it off. But, for them, being in the semi straight away, a little different. They've had to be used to marshaling their resources for 3 games. Sam Kozakowski saying, it's a grind going through those 3 days, 3 games. That ball is stripped. Good work. You're going to run out of time anyway. Nicely scooped up. Do we have a call there? Nothing. So Guelph, that's best case scenario because they were running out of time on the 80. They turn the ball over, and then they get it back on the strip. Picked up nicely here, and running forward is Zachary Holmes.
Turned over again. Wow, that was a lot of turnovers in a short amount of time.
Yeah. And, yesterday we mentioned the Brock Bishops game, probably a little sloppy, some balls hitting the ground that weren't always caused turnovers. Those mostly seemed like guys just really stripping balls.
I'd expect to see Brock just kind of get back in the groove here, set something up, get the ball around the outside.
Neil Adamson moves it over to Ribke. He'll go for a change, and Ribke pushes it deep. Tristan Jackson on him. Gets it up top to Gowland.
Yeah, just looking to set up here, see what the Guelph defense is going to do.
Looking for, that pass was attempted to Sam Leclerc. Leclerc didn't have a huge year, played 6 games, had 4 goals, 8 assists, and but he is deadly.
The way the sun's coming in right now, too, it's going to be hard for Cam McLeod to be able to see.
It is tricky. It was pretty cloudy. Here's a chance. Oh, he saw it well enough to make that save, dropping to the butterfly. Fighting for the loose ball is John Weller, but there are red jerseys all around him. They come away with it. That's Jaden Patterson with it.
Ribka got the reset there, too.
Yeah.
See those weak side guys, non-ball side guys just looking to cut through here. See what Sam Leclerc can come up with and try to follow their slides.
You'd see the Brock heading in, then like Hunter Ostromecki backing away, other guys backing out, trying to create some space to dodge. That pass did go off a Guelph player, so it's going to be Brock ball once again in a fresh 80.
95 Hunter Agus for Guelph there does a great job with Leclerc, just making sure he's got to throw that bad angle shot.
Yeah, Hunter Agus, a guy who was a 2-time World Junior player for Canada and then Canada West when in 21 when it had to be just the 2 parts of Canada because of pandemic issues, and he was an all Arena League All-Star a couple years ago as a defender.
He's a big body and he moves quick for a big man too. We got a flag down there. We'll see what they've called here.
Looked like a trip as they were fighting for that ground ball. They're going to call holding.
Mitch Ogilvie looks like he's mixing it up there with Sam Leclerc, just letting him know.
That could be an NLL rivalry. That is Rochester against Philadelphia. As Leclerc came over in a deal last year. I believe he went Colorado to Philadelphia.
5 seconds here on the clock. If they don't shoot, they'll start with the ball there in the second quarter here. So decides to hang on to it. So Brock will start with possession.
Yeah, a little fake from Leclerc, no shot, and we are through 15 minutes to play, just 2-1. The score, Brock over Guelph. I'm Steven Stamp with Jeff McKinley. This is Bagattaway Cup 2022 on Lax Sports Network. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Welcome back, lacrosse friends. We are into the second quarter. Brock, as we said, maintained possession and are on the man up here with a chance to try to extend their lead. Nice catch by Cameron McLeod. And
Brody Tom, quick shot there.
Such a snap release, right? Cameron McLeod's so good. He was fantastic for Guelph last year, helping them get to the final and into overtime in that game. He is taking his time now. And here's the difference. I don't know if you see him make that pass if he didn't have 6 seconds left in the 20 to clear. He'd just take his time. So that's how it does push it up. And that ball, you saw the pass just drift by the Guelph player. I have no idea if he saw it because the sun has come out. It was very cloudy. You can see how bright and sunny it is now. You see the shadows, and it is coming down at an angle. And it is hard for Guelph right now making outlet passes. And for McGill, or for Brock, if they're passing from this side of the field to the far side. Like, you've got Ribka over there. If they're trying to throw it over to him from up front, that's going to be tricky.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for O'Toole to see this quarter. Yeah. Same thing, Guelph will have to try and capitalize on that as well.
Yeah, change the plane, right? Just get it up in the sun coming out of it. Trent was talking about that last game, that they're like, okay, this is going to be hard when the sun came out because it had been cloudy the whole time. What a difference it makes.
Yeah, just that time of day, right?
Here's Leclerc behind the net. We've got about an hour of that, actually an hour and a half maybe, most of the rest of the game. Now, a bit of cloud, that's going to help. You can see the change, and what a move. Speaking of change of direction. Sam Leclerc gets the man on his back, drop step, and spins to the net and tucks one home.
Agus was doing a great job there of keeping him from rolling, just getting the stick right on his hip there to try and control him a little bit. And LeClaire made a great play there to turn back. Gets him, he keeps that stick on his back there so he can't go. Just that one little play, and he really didn't have an angle to shoot it there. He made a great shot. Almost had to do a twister there to get it far side.
Yeah, he's a dandy shooter. Former teammates with Canada, actually, the World Juniors, Agus and LeClaire.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no love lost there right now. No. They're going to be battling it out as the Griffins and Badgers have for 30-plus years.
Yeah, and again, so much success in this Brock program that, and everyone's saying, like, here's Brock up 3-1. I think some people are surprised because Guelph was the top team in the West. Everyone thought Guelph Western. Brock was kind of an afterthought, but as you've said, as people have said, once you get to Bagattaway Cup weekend, it all goes out the window.
Yep, I've lived it several times.
Yes. And Guelph knows they've come in as third seeds multiple times and won the championship.
And you just never know on these days, like things like sun, a bad call, broken stick, injury, right? There's so many variables in these games. It's just which team can endure and sustain.
Here's Aiden Buis behind the net. Hands it off there for Pachareva. They would love to get him rolling again. He's holding it out in one hand, fights through the double team.
Great job by the Guelph defender there. Tristan Jackson absolutely played great there, stimmying both goals either way.
Just climbing, just diving in on that double team, and then John Weller sprints up into the offensive zone. Guelph sets up, trying to get back into this one. We're 3.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, Guelph will look to get a possession here as much as they can in the next 60 seconds to get a quality shot. Got Mitch Ogilvie coming in at the top with the defender pretty far away. Short stick defender looking there.
Moves it on quickly over to Bryce Dennis. And they've still got Ogilvie way up at the top. I think they're kind of holding off, setting things up a little.
Playing an open 3-3 right now, and Ogie's going to bring his guy in the middle. Hopefully he slides.
Ogilvie he played 7 games this year, 7 goals and 6 assists. Well, that pass was tight. Nicely caught by Robert Baxter. And rips one a little bit wide. That was a tough catch on that short pass.
Nice shot, though. He had a lot of power on that for Robert Baxter.
Again, Jabe Verbeek with 17 goals this year. Next on the club was Gavin Thibault, number 16. He had 10. A couple of guys, Volkov and Aston, had 9 apiece. So obviously Verbeek is the guy, and there is another stop.
Just a good set play from Guelph there. That's their inbounds play. Quick pass and get a guy coming around the seal on the inside there. This transition, clearing the ball today, has been a thing at times.
Nice job catching that by Mitchell Armstrong. He gets up. He almost lost it on the check just before center, but he does force his way up. You can really see the pressure teams are putting on the ride.
Especially at 20 seconds, right? Yeah. So there's that pressure. The clock's against you as well, and sometimes fitting the tight pass in there has been tricky today.
There's so many times we've seen in the past the goalie just walking slowly up. If nobody's coming, he'll just keep walking for 20, 30 seconds. We've seen, Nipissing really tried to employ that last year when they were a little outmanned probably at the Bagattaway Cup.
Oh, absolutely. And that's always been a thing, right? You can use that stall call to your advantage. Very rarely would you ever see a defensive stall. So take your time, make them pressure. As soon as they pressure, they have to shift, and you could rotate out to get a guy open pretty easily. Or now you have to really have that control, because that's your deep gasp there, like, yes. Don't go into your net.
Yes, I gasped after the one we saw yesterday. Cameron McLeod dropped that ball. Now he's coming up over center, and he had to make that pass. They were down. They barely beat the 20. I actually wasn't sure they had.
Guelph got lucky there. I think that should have been offside.
I think now it is being called.
Chief bench official there, I think, came in with that one. Goalie Cameron McLeod there did step over, and a long pull, or Mitty didn't come back to cover him. You always have to keep 4 on that defensive half.
So here's a chance for Brock going back the other way. And Jaden Patterson will try to make is that a shot? It is a shot. Okay.
Gallons sailed that over, and sometimes you'll do that on purpose because you see number 2 there, Sam LeClaire coming in with the ball. If you got your guy back there, he's starting with it right away. Maybe he's got a good matchup there. He can start off the offense straight away.
Zulian wanted them to get going. You could see him signaling, and it works out perfectly. McLeod gets a bit of it. But what a finish. Nice movement. And then James Gowland didn't miss on this one. Nothing over the net. It was just off the tip of the stick and into the net, into the top corner.
And it looked like McLeod had position there, too. Just the stick might have turned a bit. He caught a piece of it. Yeah, I see he gets on it. Must have just hit the outside of the plastic there and just wobbled that little bit. Bit of a change up there. But Brock is moving the ball very well. They're finding the open man there when teams are rotating their defensive slides. Lots of game left, though, especially with this shot clock. Goals are going to come in flurries, I think, tonight. So Guelph just has to endure, get the next one.
Another battle off the draw. Pops out, and it's scooped up there. Andrew Kidd with it. And he's going to pull up as he saw a bunch of black ahead of him. Turns away from those Guelph jerseys and tosses the ball off, and Brock will step back up. Past the midway point of the second quarter. Low-scoring game. A possession battle. Brock 4, Guelph 1.
Ripka looking for a cutter there.
Yeah, he found Matthew Labute. Haven't seen much of him.
Looked like they're running a bit of a 2-2-2 set there. Look for some seals coming out of the middle there with LeClaire.
Here comes Patterson out from behind. Across to Ostermecki. Nice move. He's going to let it fly. That one's blocked, and he is sent flying by the defender. Here comes Ogilvie in transition.
Jaden Patterson's all over him. Mitch keeps going and scores on the transition there.
That is just an end-to-end beauty by Mitch Ogilvie. Being able to stand that checking. No. Withstanding that checking, such a critical component here.
And he's all over Mitch there. Mitch just waits. As soon as he sees him take that one lunge step too far, that's all the time he needed to let that one go. And again, like you look at that sun coming across, right? That's got to be a tough one to handle. He shot low to low there, which I'm sure he wasn't expecting.
4-2. Ralph pulls back within a couple of goals.
Brock's doing exceptionally well in the face-off blue dot today.
Yeah, Guelph had Kyle Detweiler going in for that face-off instead of Jordan Ackey, and they do wind up coming away with it. Ball in the stick of Volkov.
Volkov's just letting his guys come off the bench there to get set up.
Yeah, they're just getting their sixth attacker of Ben Doherty, number 9. Comes on, takes the pass.
Guelph really likes to get the ball going around the back and send cutters off the weak side there. Look for a pass to somebody coming down the alley. You'll see the guys in the middle there. Volkov, he's just going to kind of work his way around, see what comes off the dodge. They got a short stick behind here too. Got shot off.
It was tipped. Not sure if it was O'Toole that made that stop or if a defender got in the way. Then it was scooped up by Romano. He gets it back to O'Toole. He's got some pressure facing him from Verbeek, but makes the easy outlet pass. Now there's some room. Is he going to run in? He's going to run into some trouble here. But Trent Hunter avoiding the check.
I'll be looking to offload here.
Bounces it near side over to Kidd. Andrew Kidd hops to a stop.
Big fake there. Big fake. Yeah. Freezes defender.
Loading up like he's got the big crow hop going.
He sold it. We'll give him style points anyway. Yes. See Buis coming in here, number 8. My old number there.
I think most of the numbers have some pretty good history behind them in this Badgers program. You know who some of the other 8s were?
No.
No? Just you and Aiden Buis?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not the one to keep track of. You want to know what Sean Williams was wearing.
Yes. And Brandon Slade.
Slater was 5. That I remember.
Yeah.
Big.
Oh, what a rip. Drops the head of the stick and just goes to that far corner.
Ripka?
Yeah. Ripka with another rip.
And again, right, they're just big step. He's looking. He finds space in behind there. Again, he's the farthest guy. He's making it happen. Always want to leave the farthest guy, but when the guy's shooting like that, that's as a defender where we got to know who we're leaving and who we're not. Badgers with 5.
Yeah, Ripken had 8 goals this season in the regular season.
Is that 2 today?
He's got a couple today, yeah.
And that is really the thing of this tournament, right? Like, your top dogs always get covered, and it's that secondary scoring, who can step up.
So many times we've seen that, right, guys?
Absolutely. Long pull goals in overtime.
Yeah.
Secondary scores. It's a testament to teams' depth, right? Especially when you're going for 3 games in 3 days. You got to manage the battery pack. Guelph will change here.
Less than 3 minutes to go in the first half. It is 5-2 for Brock. Stick with us at the halftime as Trent head coach Mark Farthing will come and join Jeff for a chat among the only 2 head coaches in Trent Excalibur history, if I recall correctly.
Third was Jesse Thomas.
Jesse Thomas was the starting coach?
Yes.
Right, and then you took over, but you were helping him at the beginning.
Correct.
Right, so Jesse Thomas. Sorry, Jesse, if you're watching, which pretty good chance you are. I've had Jesse do some color with me in games, and what a beauty.
Absolutely. Halifax right now in the Hammer.
Yep, doing some news. Oh, nice pick-off there. Getting that stick up was Kidd, but ball does bounce back to Guelph. No possession for Brock, so Guelph's 80-second shot clock keeps ticking. They're down to 22. Guelph has been known for long possessions. When they were winning those back-to-back championships, they would hold on to it for minutes. There was once, I'm pretty sure it was 7 minutes. What a strip by the D-Midi. Great play, Mitchell Armstrong. He is the All-Canadian West D-Midi, and that's why. And now racing forward, the pass just skips away from Peter Patterson. And Guelph is all over him. The pressure from Cole Wilkinson, but couldn't quite come up with it. And we're going to have a timeout.
First timeout of the half, too, there. And Mitchell Armstrong, you really notice his speed.
Yeah.
Like, when he gets going, his top-end speed, he picks up and he gets faster as he goes. And with this shot clock, that's a huge bonus to have, especially in the fast break game. If he can get that up, move it up to those attackers, let them do their job.
Mark Farthing will join Jeff at halftime for a few minutes to talk about the game today. Earlier, obviously, a big win for them over McGill and the championship and what it would mean, I would think, to Trent to get a championship when the program does not have one. You've been close.
Been close a couple times, and all the legwork that goes into it and part of it. And you know how hard these guys are working, all the work that Mark and his coaches and everybody here at Trent is doing behind the scenes. And every team every year, I mean, you take these top few teams, like there's a handful of losses between them, but at the end of the day, just like every other year, only one can be crowned. So I think the Excalibur team, they know the gravity of this, what it would mean to them to not only win it, but to be able to win it on their home turf. It would be that would add an extra cherry on top, I suspect.
We will also, post-game, we will have player of the game presentations for one player from each team. Some great performances so far. Andrew Kidd was the Brock player of the game yesterday after a fantastic game for him. There were so many contenders for that. I mean, Blair Pachareva had the hat trick and was really strong in the first half, right? Connor O'Toole, big game, including that last second shot as Bishops was very close to tying things back up. We have 90 seconds to go in this first half with Brock up 5-2, 67 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, you're not going to see a team winning at this tournament without a goalie standing on its head for 2 to 3 days. That's clutch. Brock will look to set it up here.
Yeah, who was the Brock goalie last year? It was Simon Bellamy, wasn't it?
Yeah, transfer from Carleton. He was doing his teacher's college there, and he was phenomenal when he was in the East at Carleton. He was such a good goaltender.
Great tournament for Brock last year, and Cameron McLeod was the Guelph goalie. He was great as well. Either of them would have been well worthy as champions. Pachareva circling behind the net, watched carefully by Jordan Aki.
Running a 1-3-2 inverted there.
They get the quick shot off. Not sure that Buis got as much as he was hoping to on that one. He's trying to go for quick release and really didn't get it too accurate or hard.
Still got about 20 on the clock there, and Buis is going to dodge again. See a couple seals coming in the middle there and try to dump it in. Loose ball.
Looked like Aki had it for a moment. Now he's got it again, and he will take off.
I suspect they'll get a timeout here if they get over half.
Yep, 25 seconds. Are they calling one? Yes.
Much to the chagrin of Hunter Agus, who was looking to take it to the cooker there.
Yeah, Agus was just like, Coach, I got it. But no, they're going to set up, let the offense do it. Especially when you're down 5-2, you got to give your offensive players the opportunity to do it.
Johnny Leclerc would always get mad at me. Every time we get it over, we need a timeout to draw something off, and he would just, the hands would be raised, and he'd just be looking at me like, Coach, I had it.
He was a good LSM for you.
Amazing, yeah. And
so good.
Another just great kid, too, right?
Yeah.
Dynamic, both ends of the ball. He would have been a very good, his style of play would have led or played very well in having a shot clock right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he was always ready to go.
Always ready to go.
We've had some great players, and some of the LSMs over the years. I'm thinking Keegan Crowley from Western the last few years, like outstanding. I actually saw him in Prague playing at the Alice Robeski this spring.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was over there with the team. I think the Deutschland Adler team. I think he played for.
Tanner Baldwin at McGill, like he was an amazing LSM too.
Such a great defender.
Yes.
And then he could go. Ben Van Galen,
yes.
Guelph. LSM and face-off guy.
Oh,
fantastic. He's a dentist now.
Really?
Yeah. See, I've got him on Facebook. See his stuff. He's promoting his dental practice every once in a while.
Good for him.
Yeah. His little brother, Matt, of course, plays for the Oakville Rock, and he's, a very good senior B player, trying to be an MSL, NLL guy, and very talented righty. Much more offensively inclined than Ben was, but
sure they talk about it at the dinner table.
Yeah. Those Ellis, you have the long poles taking face-offs. If it seems awkward when you watch, but if they can make it work, it can be such a weapon. For one thing, you've got one more short stick out there that you can get it to afterwards.
Especially if their face-off guys are offensively talented, you've got the matchup you want right away.
Yeah. 17 seconds, Guelph taking their time. Volkov sitting up top. Now he'll go. He's got Armstrong on him. He's got a lane. That one's way up over the net, but the clock will stop with about 9 seconds left. Guelph ready to roll. They're back in. That pass doesn't connect. Volkov will get it again. They've got 4 seconds. He took a while to control it, and that's going to run timeout on Guelph. They will not have a chance to close this gap. It is 5-2 in favor of the Brock Badgers over the Guelph Griffins, and we are going to have a conversation between a pair of Trent coaches and a pair of Brock Badger alumni here at halftime. If there is Mark Farthing coming in, I will cede my headset, and I will be back for the next quarter. We have about 3 minutes to talk, and then another 7 minutes of halftime here on LSN at the 2022 Bagattaway Cup. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2022 Bagattaway Cup at Justin Chu Stadium on the campus of Trenton University. I am Stephen Stamp, joined by Jeff McKinley, and it is 5-2 for the Brock Badgers over the Guelph Griffins in semifinal number 2, the rematch of last year's thrilling championship game, won by Brock in overtime, and Guelph came in as the 1 seed. Fairly heavy favorites, but everyone says throw it out once you get to Bagattaway Cup, but it's hard to not have noticed that Brock was lower down in the standings, didn't have the same kind of numbers in terms of goals for and against, but boy, Brock has looked awfully good today, Kinner.
Well, and there's no pressure, right? When you're the lower seeded team and they beat you twice, it's like, hey, you know what, if we lose, we're supposed to, I guess. That's what people are saying, and if we win, good for us, right? But I would, 5-2 in a lacrosse game at half. There's lots of lacrosse left to be played, and I don't think the Guelph Griffins are going anywhere here today. No,
they're going to keep battling away. They have the ball now. Run by head coach Sam Kozakowski, who has been, as you mentioned earlier, has been around since Kufla was founded as the UFLA back in the day, right?
Yeah, Sam's been there since day one. So, here's a guy, talk about experience. He's got like Tom Brady brain, right? He's seen it all. You're not going to surprise him. You're not going to get his blood pressure up too high.
No, he's a beauty. He doesn't get too riled up about things. Andrew Kidd with the pickup after that ball was knocked onto the ground. Throws it over to O'Toole, who had to scoop it up. His momentum took him towards the end line, and that is just grabbing the ball out of the mouth of danger by McGregor Allen. Gets it ahead to Trent Hunter. Hunter, did he get a goal earlier, or did he set it up on that? Oh, my, that's a tip. Tip drill. It was Trent Hunter with the early goal. This one is LeClaire. Boy, you feel bad for Cameron McLeod because he was right on top of it. It's caught. He's got a chance. But
bad bounce.
Yeah, right off the end of the stick. LeClaire's going to tell you he meant to do that.
Well, and Trent Hunter pulled up there like he had enough guys. They had numbers and just throws it inside.
Yeah.
Just a bad tip there for the Guelph Griffins, and fortunate for the Brock Badgers there.
And you wonder, again, you can see the You can see the shadows being long shadows cast on the field. The sun is coming in from that corner. It would be the southwest corner down there. And maybe Leclerc didn't see that ball very well, but it hit off his stick, went down. And I don't know if McLeod saw that one. But.
And Hunter Agus did exactly what he was supposed to. He clamped on his stick.
Yeah. Partly caused the ball not to be caught. Just didn't work out. Comes over to McGregor. Allen now. He's another veteran defender for Brock who's played very well over the years.
And Brock will get their guys out. Patrick Rivas coming in there through the middle. Ribka's going to get this ball low here.
Ribka's been on fire today. Played well yesterday too. Again, had the final goal that turned out to be the winner, and had set up the goal before that by Sam Leclerc in the 8-7 Brock win over the Bishop's Gators.
Brock just running a bit of a 2-2-2 here, looking for an alley to dodge.
Leclerc stop and start. Sorry, that's Zulian with the stop and start. Rockers back around, picked up by Weller.
An overhead check there. Perfectly executed by Weller, because that can be a dangerous move as you give the guy the lane to the net when you're at the top of the field like that.
Weller almost had it, got away from him. It's tracked down by Zulian, and he's going to head off for a change as Brock is down to the final 10 seconds on their shot clock.
Big stop.
Foot save by Cameron McLeod.
Oh. Stick right up around the helmet there of Agus. Thought maybe a flag was coming. No luck for Guelph on that one.
Nice little move by Agus. He's trying to get away from the pressure from Pachareva, and he will pass it across. Oh, Ogilvy just fell down, and he's going to have to tie his shoelaces up. Taking the gloves off.
Maybe the ref will give him a quick timeout there.
I don't know. There's going to be some changing. Yeah, they see he's got a second. Andrew Kidd went over and gave him the merciless slash. Just kidding. Just a little tap on the shoulder.
A little bit of veteran treatment there. We'll let you tie your shoe, Mitchell.
Yeah. Boy, he's been good for a long time in this league.
Yes, he has.
A nice chat with his mom earlier today. She was one of the ones saying, she said, as a Peterborough person, it's hard not to cheer for Trent if they're playing Guelph in the finals. She said, but yeah, I got to go with my kid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Blood is thicker than water.
Yeah. You're saying like Mac O'Brien, got ties to both these programs.
Well, he'll be cheering for Guelph today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, that'll be a different story.
It will.
Right on the doorstep.
Nice underhand shot. What a lovely finish. That was Verbeek once again.
Let's see the replay come up here. Griffin's on the power play. They're working it around the top. Just steps in here, drive with the defender. Guy in the middle comes down to the crease, and that's a pretty easy one for the Griffins. They needed that one there. Get them within 3 of the Badgers here.
Yeah, the games go quickly. We have switched in the last couple of years from 80-minute games to 60 minutes. Running time with stop time just in the final 30 seconds of the first 3 quarters and 2 minutes at the end of the game. And they go quick.
Which essentially, it eliminates a quarter of the old game, right? You're getting rid of that 20 minutes. So time is of the essence. But I think for the sport and the brand of Kufla, which obviously they've done a great job being their own league, it's a good selling feature. Got a free ball there.
Oh, just running over it was Agus. That's going to leave Ribka. But it gets away from him. He's going over the end line. Who did it touch? It touched Ribka last.
Tristan Jackson scooped that up.
Yep. Ribka kind of swatted at it as he walked by, and then all kinds of pressure. Oh, he just stepped out of bounds. I don't think Nicholas Volkov realized where the sideline was because he was just running with his head up, looking ahead for a pass, and took probably 2 or 3 steps over the sideline. Again, it's the blue and the yellow alternating there.
Yeah, they've got the rugby lines in the yellow there, so they match up with the blue, the lacrosse lines.
Field looks great. We have the football goalposts are out, so the nets are in their normal creases. It looks great. This is a perfect setting for the Bagattaway Cup, not to mention that it's 20 degrees.
Yeah, Trent's done a great job of updating the field, the new scoreboard, the branding. It's a good venue for hosting this event.
Ribka takes that pass. Brock taking their time. They work halfway through the 80, and that shot, I think, went off a Guelph player. Yeah, that's going to be Brock possession. It's hit the leg of one of the defenders for the Griffins.
Passes automatically change possession, but shots, it's wherever it goes out, closest person to get there. So sometimes that can be a little subjective. You'll hear some coaches being not too happy.
Good heads-up call by the officials. Oh, what a save by McLeod. Not the most orthodox goaltender, but boy, does he do a job keeping that ball out of his net.
Yeah, as long as you get it done.
Yeah, that one, I was going to say by the refs, a good job, because with the ball heading way over to the corner from where it was, it didn't look like it would have been a shot, but they picked up that it was off the defender's leg. Here comes Bryce Dennis.
Being watched there by Aiden Pincombe. Aiden's from out west.
It's cool seeing the Western kids, BC and Alberta guys coming to Ontario and Quebec to play.
And that was a big, like when Bishops came into the league in 2002, that was kind of their playbook. They got a bunch of the BC kids and not get the saturated Ontario recruiting. And for a long time it was, Bishops. Then McGill got more and more, but we're seeing more and more of the Western kids and more Americans coming up to the league. The price of the dollar. So it's making lacrosse that much better than it already was.
Pass behind the net. Guelph moving the ball quickly. Tried to go to Ogilvie, but the pass and the stick was hit as the player was making the pass. But what a rip. Plan B put into effect by Bryce Dennis, and that's a beautiful shot to get a huge goal for the Griffins.
And just another tip ball there again, eh? And they're able to get the bounce. A nice move underneath there and makes no mistake. Right off the Brock defender's stick there. Grabs it, little slip underneath. Goes right under the bar. Perfect placement of the shot there by Bryce Dennis. 2 first names there. Big face-off coming up. As you know that the Griffins want to get to 5 here. Got John Weller on the line there and McGregor Allen. Brock pulls it back. Chased down by Detweiler.
Nice job fighting off that check and just spins it. Oh! Now why is that not over and back?
Good
okay,
question.
Thanks. I thought it was a good question. I've seen a couple this weekend that haven't been called. And
I think when they put the new rule into effect, once you get down into the attacking area, so once you cross the restraining line and it comes back out and over,
that's right.
That would be the difference.
That's right. You've got to between the restraining lines to. I think you're correct. Sorry, my bad. That's just putting you on the spot. I knew that.
I knew you did.
Zulian hands it off, gets it back. Brock with 35 on the shot clock. We're seeing more depth in more teams. These teams going deeper into the shot clock, though, than we've seen most of the weekend. Really taking their time.
Trying to find their matchup, isolate. Yeah. These guys know each other very well. Who do they want to pick on? What's the probability?
Lewis with a nice move and a great finish. A little question mark dodge and comes back down to just find his spot. Looking very confident as he made that play.
Said there's 11 left on that right now, so they use 70. You just see him. He's got the short stick defender there, fakes the pass, turns under. Not a great angle, but he put it exactly where he wanted to go there. Good
really extended the stick up over his head to maximize the angle, getting up and above McLeod, and tucks that one home. That's a lovely finish.
And McLeod's not a big goaltender either, right? So without that stick in the right spot, he was able to get just a bit more of an angle on him. Got 2 long poles on the line here for Brock, which means they got a midi in their defensive restraining line.
Just getting a note that it's, the first 20 seconds you can go over and back as much as you want. It's once you get in to the 60, because you've got that 20 seconds that you can play with for the clear. It's after that into the final 60, then you can't go back over center. So again, right here, in the first 20 seconds, no problem there. His kid goes back, hands it off, and that's why that one is able to go to Trent Hunter. So appreciate that.
Zulian, same thing. We're just going to walk it in while they get their change there. Everybody making sure they stay on side. You see a lot of teams subbing through the middle there. Some people call it the X, or as we are calling it at Trent, the blue dot.
The blue dot?
The middle of the field.
Yeah, Brock was just getting everybody out there. Ostermecki was the last guy to come in, and they're going to have a shot right on top of the crease. What a save by McLeod. And that's going to be a penalty as Brody Toms was absolutely flattened. Oh, no, they're just going to call possession. Yeah, Sam Leclerc, what a quick release.
That was a double change of possession, about 8 seconds, and quick outlet to Agus. He's got Brody Toms in pursuit.
Agus hands it off in the little bounce shot. Kind of pushed a little bit by Liam Aston. It looked like he was thinking past and then realized he had pretty good shooting lane. It looked like he almost changed his mind halfway through and didn't quite get what he was hoping to on that one. But not a bad option, just didn't find his mark. Guelph does get it back.
It must have been out of bounds because the Guelph player was literally laying across his back.
Yeah. Liam Aston fighting his way out, falls down, and the pass goes awry. Grabbed there by Armstrong. Yeah, he's looking a little shaken up. Feet came right out from under him, and he's slow to get up. Aston's putting the bucket back on. Looks like he's all right.
Brock bringing the men out. Guelph changing through the middle there. Getting numbered up. Brock's got a long pull there on the offensive half, so they'll take their time here.
Another quick quarter. Yeah, still a pretty low scoring. Sorry, Kinner, didn't mean to jump on you. It's a low scoring game, 7-4 into the final 2:22 of this third quarter.
It's going fast.
It is.
Zulian's going to set up. We'll see some off-ball movement here, some cuts through the middle.
LeClaire cut, then Boos cuts in behind him, but Zulian wasn't prepared to give it to either of them at that point. Neither super open. He's going to spin and shoot, but McLeod just swallows that one up. And quick outlet pass.
Question mark seems to be a go-to here for Brock, so they must be in their scouting report that side of the field is what they're looking for.
It's interesting, as you said, watching these teams, they play each other so often. They get very familiar with each other over the years. And on the one hand, it gives you a good scout on them. On the other hand, you want to try and change things up. So it's tricky. I mean, it'd be the same for you when you're coaching Trent against McGill that you're playing all the time and battling for the top of the division a lot. Yeah, trying to come up with new wrinkles.
Yeah, what do you have in your back pocket? And you'd stat stuff out. It's like we're only using this in the first third, second third. When do you introduce stuff? When do you use it?
That shot blocked. Guelph looks like they might get it back.
And these days, video is a must, right? Every team's doing it, so there's no secrets out there. And, like the West teams are phoning these teams for video and on who they're playing and vice versa.
Guelph with the forecheck pressure and get it back. I think Brock was feeling like there's a bit of a push on the back. It's going to be Brock possession, though, as Guelph didn't have anybody backing up.
Yeah, nobody behind, automatically the goalie ball.
Yep.
Brock's back in transition.
Oh, that's a tricky little catch for Brody Toms. He's going to give it over to Andrew Kidd, who'll just slow things down a bit.
Yeah, and Kidd's been their outlet on their clears. They've been doing a good job on the clear to just slow it down. Kidd's able to pop over and sort of settle the troops.
Looks like Kidd's playing with one of those hook sticks. If you look at the head on the stick, it's the gate with the little hook, so you can just grab somebody's stick and yank on it. Haven't been banned yet. Sure they will be.
At some point.
Yeah.
If they weren't already, they're on the way now that you said it.
I believe it's next year. They're legal right now. They are legal to play with, so he's not doing anything wrong.
Ooh. Rivka was wide open, just couldn't squeeze it.
Just popped off the top of his stick.
3 on the clock.
Well, that's going to do it as Ogilvie comes away with that ball. The third quarter will come to an end, and it is the Brock Badgers up 7-4 on what normally you wouldn't think of as an upset, but at this point, they are on the verge of an upset, 15 minutes away from earning a berth to go back to the Bagattaway Cup Championship. We'll have a 2-minute break, and we will be back on LSN with the 2022 Bagattaway Cup. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. I'm going to call you Jeff Kinner. Jeff McKinley.
Not the first time that's happened.
Right? Here on LSN. We'll see you in 2 minutes. We are underway with quarter number 4. Brock 7, Guelph 4. 15 minutes from determining who will face the Trent Excalibur in the 2022 Bagattaway Cup Championship. We are live on LSN. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. Thanks for being with us. And Kinner, huge for Guelph and Brock getting possession again. They are really controlling a lot of the flow of this game.
Yeah, and that was Kidd again for Brock, number 28 there.
He's been terrific.
Getting that loose ball and settling everybody down, letting them get their changes. You're going to see Guelph here starting to push. I mean, I've seen 3 goals in Lacrosse in under a minute, especially with the shot clock, so it's not a huge margin, even though there's only been 4 for the Griffins so far, so I would expect some pressure coming here.
Yeah, you got to think if they get it back, they're going to take chances, try and get it to Verbeek. He is their big guy. But, of course, Brock knows that. That's a great clear, great outlet pass, nicely caught by Aiden Pincombe. He gets it ahead. We have a shot from Agus on the run. That is stopped by O'Toole, who makes an outlet pass of his own. Here comes Trent Hunter.
Mitch Ogilvie held back there, so Agus could go.
Now Ogilvie's back on D. Spinning pass. I thought it was going to be a shot. What a tremendous decision by Jaden Patterson, leaving Ripka naked on the crease.
Yeah, that was a good freeze pass there.
Yeah.
And that's the danger of this shot clock, right? The transitions can be quick. You go in one, you don't have enough guys back. See the pass to the crease here. Just knows where everybody is, and that gives Ripka a one-on-one with the goalie. And as good as Cameron McLeod is, my goodness, that's those nets are huge, right? 6 by 6. You got
36 square feet to shoot at,
and that ball's small. And these shooters are so dialed; they're picking diamonds out of the mesh. So that's a low percentage, unfortunately, for the tender there. Hopefully, Guelph will come up with this on the face-off here.
Aki pulls it back between his legs and it is grabbed there by John Weller. Weller up into the offensive zone. Tosses it back. He's going to stay in play. Now he's starting to head back. I thought he might just hang out for the set.
Guelph's going to spin her around here. See if they can get Weller off, get a change in. Changes that center to make it a little shorter, making sure Brock can get nobody off.
Bryce Dennis to Volkov. Goes over to Ben Doherty on the far side.
Got it down to X there. Guelph likes this up top matchup.
One of those rare moments where we're seeing Mitch Ogilvie not on the field for the Griffins. And at least they're a pretty decent scoring chance. But Connor O'Toole, no problem, turns that one aside.
I mean, he's a pretty good goalie. That was a pretty far shot out.
Yeah.
It was hard, but he was able to just read it. He had time there. There's nothing in front of him. I think Guelph's going to have to work harder to, draw some slides in and be able to get some shots off of guys that are open that way. See, Brock's been very good at the clear, limiting the turnovers that way, which I think has helped them to get to the point that they're at here currently. Ribka's going to just take her down into the corner.
Takes his time being watched there.
Patterson supports them down low so they can get their guys out. Got a short stick matchup here.
Ostermecki quickly across to the far side, and Brock keeps moving the ball. You can see the darkness coming gradually as the clouds come out and the sun's starting to set. And we've changed the clocks tonight, don't we? Yeah. So remember to do that, everyone. I just got the reminder on my phone a while ago.
That's an extra hour, or we lose an hour?
I don't know. Fall back, spring forward, or is it the other way around?
Perfect.
Fall back, so we go back, we get an extra hour?
My 4-year-old is hockey at 6:50 a.m., so that's great news.
Beautiful.
Good check here. Throws the one-hander.
That is picked up. That was a bit of a desperation shot, obviously, for Gowland. And here come the Griffins the other way, and Aki is just going to run through that arm check and power up into the offensive zone.
Got Ogilvie at the top of the field. Skip across there.
Nice little parabolic pass. You get it to Ogilvie here.
Jordan Aki's got the short stick there with Armstrong. Armstrong's fast, though. Got to get a good move on him. Got short sticks up top and down low. We'll see what Guelph decides to do here. That's the alley. With the spin through X. Get a cutter down the far side. Knocked down. Oh, he almost came up with it.
It's kicked back, scooped up and under a little bit of pressure. Nice job, Dante Romano, to get away from the pressure. And they'll throw back to Connor O'Toole in his crease. Doesn't quite connect on the pass back to Trent Hunter. Hunter having a solid game for the Badgers.
Still a lot of drops, though, this game, man. Ball's bouncing around a little bit.
I was talking to Mark Farthing about that, the Trent head coach, and said, the game last night felt a bit sloppy. He said, you know what, Bagattaway can be like that. Guys are nervous. There's a lot of pressure. The year culminates, and there's a lot of, it's a big deal. And you're coming in playing the best teams in the league, and it's not always the tidiest lacrosse at first until guys get through the nerves.
Absolutely.
Brock taking their time.
How good's your bad? Tiger Woods said that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Got to get through when things aren't going perfectly. Pachareva, they'd love to see him getting rolling again. Puts the shoulder down, switches hands. That's a pretty nice play as he just tried to bowl through Andrew Laverne. Laverne got to back up on him a little bit. The shot missed.
Laverne's a big body, too.
Yeah.
Ribka comes underneath. Big save there, but
that is.
Holy.
Cameron McLeod, that's a tricky one. We saw Cameron McGinnis score from McGill like that yesterday, coming out with the reverse whip. Here comes Ogilvy on the run. Fakes the pass, goes the other way. I think he faked his own teammate out. I'm not sure that Matthew Allen was ready for that. You always have to be ready when Ogilvy's out there.
Well, you got to know he's probably not throwing it to the long pole. Who's a right-handed shot on the wrong side of his body.
That's a fair assessment. You got to make that assessment quickly, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Almost picked off.
Did Allen touch it? No. So he disrupted the pass but didn't touch it. So the ball goes out of play and Guelph will get it back.
There's Mitch again.
And again, these quarters go quickly. We're almost halfway now through the fourth quarter. Time ticking away on the Griffins.
And Mitch wants this ball on the stick. He's a big game guy.
Yeah.
Coached him in Pee Wee, and even then it was just always like, I need it. Let me go. Let me go. Didn't matter how tired he was. So
he was a beast in high school. I remember watching him play for St. Peter's. Oh, that shot's off target.
Absolutely. He was a big game guy.
Yeah.
I used to coach there with Roddy McGillis.
Yeah.
Off the tournaments. They played at St. Mike's. He was just a powerhouse, and they would have such a hard time guarding him.
Those St. Peter's, St. Mike's games were great.
Unbelievable.
So much fun. The fans would get into it. I remember going to the one tournament at Christ the King, and the St. Pete, St. Mike's was just the girls' team was there watching, and they were getting into the Ogie, 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 Oi, Oi, Oi chant.
Oh, yeah.
And, which I've broken out now and then. It's a good one. There's Ogilvy passing it off. A little slip, but recovering, and then the one hand ducked through, but it got away from Ben Doherty.
There's Kid again scooping up a loose ball. That kid's been a vacuum tonight, pun intended.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry, I missed the call on that one.
So we're going Guelph, push on the back.
There's one tricky thing about our booth here. It's a great spot. Love this stadium, but there are pretty wide posts in the booth here, and occasionally we have to switch window to window, and sometimes you miss what happens as you're doing that.
Guelph will look to get the ball low here, get some off-ball cuts happening.
Robert Baxter behind the net. Guelph starting to dip into their depth a little bit. Baxter trying to fight his way through. Oh, he thought he had something on the far side. Wasn't quite there, and tenacious defense. He goes down. Ogilvy wants a flag. He's turned to argue for it. That shot was blocked. Doherty trying to come up with it. Huge collision, about 5 guys running into it. We do have a call coming. It's going to be a loose ball push on Guelph. So Brock will get the ball. Mitchell Armstrong has it. I think he's just going to take off. He was looking for a pass, but here comes a double team. He'll just run through both of them. He's so fast and impervious to those little slash checks on the arm. He'll just run right through them. And he gets into the offensive zone and pumps the brakes, slows things down. Brock with a 4-goal lead, 5:08 to play.
And they're going to be using these shot clocks up.
Yeah. Wow, they can eat so much of it with the 80 seconds. I mean,
especially with only 5 minutes to play, right? There's not the pressure to go. You're up. Make sure you shoot by the end of the time here. Forces Guelph to make a decision early about what they're going to do to pressure this ball.
Zulian to Pachareva to Buis, 3 of the leaders on this offensive set. Now they're going to start to go. Pachareva reverses, goes over to Buis.
Just trying to get a stick to the outside there, see if you can get any shot down the alley.
Still lots of time to work with. Swim move, didn't really get anywhere. But Patterson will give it back up down below to Ribko, who's been tremendous.
And you can see when he's making those moves behind the net, Buis is just looking to get a step-down shot there.
Tries one there, really tough angle, and Cameron McLeod was glued to his post, so that one drifts across the front of the net.
That does seem to be where they're going from, though. I don't know if that's something that they picked up on, but they're kind of taking that bad angle and trying to shoot far side pipe on them, and it's definitely worked for them a couple times today.
And Brock was changing as play was about to be blown back in. The 80 was about to expire, so they changed up, got their defensive guys out while they had one player, Ribka, down with the ball, and he actually just chucked it out of bounds as the 80 was about to expire, so they could finish changing, get all their D guys out. Pretty heads-up play. Good coach. This is a well-coached Brock team. We talked about Sam Kozakowski earlier for Guelph, but Vince Longboat and Matt Atwood and the group at Brock, great group.
And Matt Atwood, I played with him at Brock, so he's been around the league for 20 years, right? He's seen a lot too. So he helped with Kennedy there and with Tim Louie as well. So he's put in a lot of time, and a very good offensive player himself, but a tremendous X's and O's guy.
Yeah, very much so. Great in the box game. Seen him in the Arena League and does some tremendous stuff. And Vince Longboat is actually with the Haudenosaunee Nationals as one of their coaches for next year's World Championships in San Diego. So that's going to be, that's a good group with Lars Tiffany, the head coach. Here's Guelph behind the net. The pass out gets by everybody. It is backed up there by Doherty. He's going to try and spin. Some solid defense by McGregor Allen, but he gets by, shoots, and there's the save. You do all that work to get the shot, and O'Toole just swallows that up, lobs it ahead to Andrew Kidd, who very calmly has that ball come over his shoulder, bounce in front, and just scoops it up. Boy, Andrew Kidd's having a tournament.
He is having a tournament. He has been the backbone of their clear tonight.
Yeah. I would say he's been, I think, the best defender I've seen in this tournament. Yeah. I think so. He's been great.
Steady, eh?
Yeah. He's having a bit of a chat there with Robert Baxter. They're discussing things.
He's trying to give I'm going to go back to the net if you're going to change here.
Oh, wow. What a reverse whip coming out from behind the net by Sam Leclerc. You can see, Cameron McLeod trying to get involved in the defense, trying to help out. That's the risk reward. You got to go do it, but it leaves it open, and Leclerc makes him pay.
That's going to be a backbreaker right now for Guelph, knowing the mountain they have to climb here in the final 2 minutes. After having that successful season, going 9-1, this is a pretty potent offense, and only having 4 right now. 2 minutes to get 5. It's not impossible, but definitely a mountain to climb there. Claire again, they've really had success, this Brock team, with getting to the island and question marking back around. Clearly something that they've identified, because they haven't shot a tremendous amount from the outside. They've had 2, kind of farthest guy from the slides, but see what Guelph can do here.
They get the ball, but trying to force something through. Not a lot of time. You got to make things happen. Guelph tries to force something, doesn't work out, and they will come back to the near side and lob it ahead. And you got to pressure everywhere, and that's leaving gaps open. They get the ball ahead to Mitchell Armstrong, the All-Canadian D midi, who's had a tremendous two-way game. And here is Aiden Buis taking the pass. So it may have been Buis they got it up to in the first place, so that's my bad.
So we'll have just shy of a full shot clock. Guelph turns it over here.
Yeah, you're not going to see them taking a lot of time here. They'll just have to push it forward. It's grabbed there by Andrew Laverne. Oh, and the pass ahead, and you can see him throw his hands up. I'm not sure if he thought someone was going to be where they weren't, but it does not connect, and that will be Brock possession. Did Guelph get a timeout?
Yep. It looks like they're saying that it was a tip.
Okay.
So it's still going to be Guelph ball.
Okay. 56.3 seconds to go. Brock leading by 5. The Griffins on the verge of elimination here.
Such a tough pill to swallow too, right? You have a super successful season like that,
and things just don't click for you when you get here.
Right.
Your first game. That's where, when I talked to Sam Kozakowski this morning, he said, we don't know. We don't know what it'll be like. Maybe it's an advantage to go to the semis. Maybe it's not. That's a great shot. Absolutely ripped from the outside by Jabe Verbeek, his third of the game.
Yeah, he's a great shooter and put that far side hip. Keeps them within 4, but 34 seconds to go. And see, this is where they needed to be having a little bit more of this game, is draw that guy down and be able to shoot.
We do have a timeout now, so with 34.2 seconds, a 4-goal edge.
for the Badgers.
Wow, this is, I mean, it's not often that Brock comes in as an underdog.
No.
And I think they like it.
I think they like I said, there's no pressure when you're the underdog, right? And if, they had a lot of turnover, sometimes you get young guys and you don't know any better, right? You're just there, you want to play, and they don't have that same feeling where I'm sure for a lot of these Guelph guys, especially guys that have been there, you know that feeling when you have worked all year and 4 years and, just it hasn't come your way on this final weekend, and that hurts, right? So there's that added pressure of having to deliver because you know how hard it is to win one of these things.
Stick with us post-game for the player of the game presentations with Tom Bileski, who we talked to earlier, the head coach at Laurier University, the Golden Hawks, and owner of Locker Hooks. Will be presenting some of his wares, and the players will receive those after the game. And then, boy, it goes quick. There's the build-up, everything comes up, and then things kind of get rolling a bit. Next thing you know, boom, in 34 seconds, we're through 4 games, and we're down to the championship.
Wild. And this is where, if you're the Guelph Griffins, you want those 20-minute quarters back. Right?
Yes.
They're starting to get some life now. Clock's just against them. Big face-off here. Looks like they got Laverne in taking it.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Aki is.
Got Ogilvie on the line with Kidd. See who comes up with it here. Laverne comes up with it.
23 seconds. Guelph still wants to go down. They want to get at least one more. Ogilvie hands it off. Here's a chance for Cole Wilkinson.
Double comes.
Ball is stripped. It rolls out. There's going to be about 9 seconds left.
And that looks like it's
Brock ball, and that'll do it. So, wow, the Brock Badgers, 3rd seed, 6-4 in the regular season, and they are going through to the Bagattaway Cup Championship game. They will face the Trent Excalibur, the number 1 seed, in the final tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, here on Lacrosse Sports Network. Remember, stick with us. We'll have the player of the game presentations.
Regular season does not matter. You just have to get to the dance.
Yeah.
Typically something that has been this Guelph Griffins team's MO, right? They're always skilled.
Yeah.
They finish that 2nd, 3rd spot, and they just they grind their way through.
So Guelph lining up. They're going to go shake hands, and you can see them talking to each other, hugging each other.
Just a gutting feeling, right? You go through with these guys, and it's never the same team from year to year. But I think why you see a lot of these same teams here every year is because of the programs that these coaches and the alumni and the staff at the schools put into. It really is that family mentality, right? When you're part of a team, that's different than being part of a program, and that's why losing in these is so tough, and winning in these is so special.
And it's such a compressed, pressure cooker, intense season. Starts up in early September. Here it is, beginning of November. They've gone through a 10-game regular season, the playoff week. You come to Bagattaway, play 2 or 3 games in the course of a weekend, and or one, unfortunately for Guelph from their perspective, and everything is ramped up because it's so quick. It's building and building and building, and then you're preparing for the Bagattaway Cup, which means so much to you. And you lose last year in the overtime game, and you think this is it, this is our year. It can come crashing down in a hurry.
It does,
and it's hard.
And we've been there, right? We lost to Western, beat Brock on their home field in the semis, and we were down 4-1 and a half and came back and lost in that final, and then had a very successful season next year. Only lost once, and lost to Guelph on that Friday. Missing a couple guys away, but it was a game of bounces, came down to 1 goal. And so that feeling of, you think you get there, you just get to go back, and that's just not how it works, right? So this Guelph Griffin team will be absolutely gutted, and these Brock Badgers, this rivalry, like we said, has been going on for decades. So the Badgers will be pumped that they're going to be playing tomorrow in the final. And for the guys that have been there on this team, they know how special it is. They won it last year, and they'll be telling that to the young guys. But it'll be hopefully another good weather day tomorrow. It's been a fantastic weekend for hosting this event.
Yeah, I want to say thanks again to everyone here at Trent. Aiden Labossiere, who's doing the stream for us and does a great job. And everybody in the Trent Athletic Department has been really terrific to work with. I mean, just very much like, what do you need? Like, leading up to it, we did a lot of preparation for it, getting the stream ready. Very pleased with how they're going. Happy to have you on, Jeff McKinley. And, we just did a lot of preparation, and they were always like, what do you need? What do you need to make this work? Here's what we're planning. And it's really been a nice collaborative effort. Of course, the Kufla executive getting on board to make everything happen, and all the people here at Trent. It's been pretty great. We are going to go to the Player of the Game ceremony. I guess it's just the one, really, even though there's 2 presentations.
Presented by Hogtown, I believe.
Yeah, Hogtown Lacrosse, one of the Player of the Game sponsors. I think Tom Bileski, actually, from Locker Hooks, will be doing the presentation. And now, the Player of the Game presentations. First, from the Guelph Griffins, number 9, Jabe Verbeek. Oh, sorry. 19, Jabe Verbeek. And from the Brock Badgers, number 16, Andrew Ribka. So that will wrap things up for the semifinals. A couple of pretty good games. And really tomorrow, Kinner will be back at 2 p.m. The stream will go up a bit before that. We'll, of course, start with the land acknowledgement, the introductions of the starters, and the national anthem. And then we will play 60 minutes or more. Last year went more to determine the Bagattaway Cup champion, the supreme team for 2022 in the Canadian University Field Lacrosse Association. Jeff, any final thoughts for today as we get ready to wrap up?
It's going to be exciting. I mean, Brock and Trent have played before in the playoffs, but never in the finals. So, if there was 8,000 here today, I'm thinking there's going to be 10,000 here tomorrow for sure.
Easy. We're going to be straining capacity here at Justin Chu Stadium. Thanks so much for being with us, lacrosse friends. We appreciate everyone joining in, and we will wrap things up for semifinal Saturday and be here for the championship game tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Lacrosse Sports Network. Thank you very much, lacrosse friends. We'll see you then.